So yeah, hi and welcome to my first review of Burnt Offerings, which is the first chapter in Rise of the Runelords adventure path from Paizo, and this is my first review ever, so I'll try to do a really in-depth review, and hopefully you like it, and if you have any questions you're welcome to ask me. I'm going to do it in two parts. First I'm going to comment a bit about the artwork, and then I'll do basically a walkthrough of all the different things in the book. So yeah, first off, Rise of the Runelords. It's a campaign from Paizo, and Burnt Offerings is the first chapter, and as you can see it's the anniversary edition, and it's actually one of the most successful campaigns I think from Paizo, and I actually have the original as well. The difference is that this is for 3.5, I think. Yeah, 3.5, and the new anniversary edition has been updated for the Paizo core rulebook, and yeah, so all the references inside will match your new Pathfinder books. So yeah, it's good. So first off, a bit about the artwork. I really like the artwork. It gives you, you really want to read the book when you look at the artwork. Well, usually you say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but let's face it, we all do just a bit. And if you see the artwork here, you definitely want to have a look at it. And also on the back, it's great. Inside, you'll find bits of artwork here and there that displays the has some meaning, or it displays the graphical, how should you say it, graphical well, you know what I mean. Anyways, lots of artwork inside, and it's all really nice and well. I really like the artwork, so nothing to complain about there. And as I said, it's my review is of the first chapter, which is called Burnt Offerings, and this anniversary edition contains all the 6 chapters. You can see the first one here is Burnt Offerings, and then you continue through the rest of them. There are 6 in all, and all of them are in this book. In the top right, you can see which chapter you're on, and as I said, Burnt Offerings is the first one. So yeah, just before I continue, I have to say that there is some spoilers here in my review, so if you're playing this as a player character, you probably shouldn't watch this video. If you're a DM and you want to have a look at this campaign, and you maybe want to play it, take some players through the campaign, then it's a good review, I think. But again, if you're a player, if you're currently playing this, then don't look at the rest of the review. So first off, there's a short introduction about the complete campaign, which basically tells you what's the big plot of it all. There's some nice background info on goblins, so that you'll be able to portray them in the right way. And there's a lot of information, and it's really nicely written. It's easy for you to get the meaning or the background information. It's just served so well here. So it's nice and easy to work with. And after the introduction, you get to the Burnt Offerings, the first chapter, which I'm reviewing. And at the start, you get a chapter background. You are basically told what's going to happen in this small adventure, which starts off the rest of the campaign. And basically, what happens is you have this Swallowtail festival that's supposed to consecrate the new church or the new cathedral in Sandpoint. And because the old cathedral burned down a couple of years ago, and there's some loads of background information as to why this old church burned down, and that's what starts it all off. This Sandpoint's Swallowtail Festival, and that's probably where your NPCs will meet. No, not your NPCs. Your player characters will meet, and yeah. So also in the beginning, you'll see it's listed how the advancement track is, and it's fast. So during the first chapter in this Rise of the Runelords campaign, your player characters should go from 1 to 4th level. So it's pretty fast, but it's loads of fun. I've played it 2 times now, and my group loves to play, I think. At least that's what they'll tell me. So yeah. On the next page or so, next couple of pages, you get some background information on the main villain, and I'm not going to tell you everything that happens. I'm just going to give you some main pointers, because I don't want to ruin it completely. I just want to explain how many different things you can experience here, and how easy I think it is to read, and how much you get from it. Because I think if I did a complete review and I told you all the plot hooks and so on, it wouldn't be as good to read. So yeah, and in case some of the player characters are watching this review, I won't ruin it for the DMs as well. But still, there are spoilers. So yeah, there's some background information on the main villain, and then you actually get to the Swallowtail Festival. And well, before I continue, you should probably be aware that there is some loads of background information on the coastal town of Sandpoint, which is where the main adventure is being played out. Here in the back you've got a nice detailed map of Sandpoint, and there are different numbers located around the city map, and there's a detailed explanation for each of the numbers, so you get really good background information on the NPCs. You get a bit of plot hooks. Let me just give you a few examples. There's the Scanetti Mill, which is the lumber mill of Sandpoint, and there's some of the other mills in the region has mysteriously burnt down. So apparently this is the only remaining mill, and there are some rumors as to why that is. why the other mills have burnt down. But so just there are some plot hooks here you can use for creating some side quests or anything, and that's just one example. There's many small examples that you can use, small twists and so on. Also there's the Hackfish, which is a tavern. This tavern has a tank with a hackfish in it, and that tank can create some fun for your players, because there's some prize money if your players can drink a tanker of this water, and it can create loads of fun with the crowd going wild and cheering on your players if they want to try it out. That's just small things, but as I said, there are loads of them in the descriptions of the Sandpoint map. Yeah. So, anyways, to continue, I'm just going to go back here. Well, chapter background. So, starts off with the Swallowtail Festival. I've actually introduced my NPCs to Sandpoint the day before the Sandpoint Festival, just to have them get a feel of the town, just get a sense of belonging or sense of wanting to protect this city, this town, not city. On the following day, I play out the Swallowtail Festival, and at the Swallowtail Festival, as I said, it was the consecration of the new cathedral. There are some games there to be played. There's a market. There's different taverns or restaurants that have small competitions about who makes the best dishes and so on. So there's loads of information and opportunity for you to do some interacting with the player characters. Well, during this Swallowtail festivals, the city or the coastal town gets attacked by goblins, and it's a bit chaotic attack because there are loads and loads and loads of goblins, and every time you see like a monster or a goblin and you get references to the bestiary, which page to look them up and so on. But it's really nicely written here how all the different encounters are stats and so on, and if it's just some common thing, you'll just see a reference to the page number and the bestiary. What I really like about how these monsters are written here is they have these tactics which make it easier for you to play these monsters, because for example, this tactic during combat, it's a goblin. During combat, on the first round, the goblins gleefully try to burn PCs with their torches, but as soon as one of them is slain, the surviving goblins realize the fight is for real and switch to their dog slices. So makes it easy for you to figure out how you want to play this, or how you should play this encounter. And also there's a morale. If the war chanter dies, remaining goblin warriors panic and flee. So for all these encounters, you get some tactics on how you should play them. That's really nice. And anyways, so the town gets attacked by goblins, and hopefully your player characters will win this. So, and if they win this, of course, if they don't win this, then the adventure is over. But they should be able to win this, no problem. And obviously, they get to be heroes of the town, and during this adventure, they'll be more and more respected from the citizens and the town guards and so on. They'll be able to speak to the mayor and to the sheriff and so on. Anyways, so victory, they'll become heroes, and what happens next is they'll probably want to investigate, or that's the meaning anyways, they'll probably want to investigate why this town was attacked by goblins all of a sudden and during the Swallowtail Festival. And they'll find out that some remains from the old priest of the old priest died in the first fire, or in the fire that burned down the old cathedral, and apparently his remains have been stolen during the festival. So that's what your player characters will figure out, or that's what happens during the goblin attack. And they find out this afterwards, of course. So basically they just try to investigate, figure out what's been happening, why was the town attacked, and while they're trying to unravel all this, there's a few encounters, few things that can happen to the NPCs, to the player characters, that will just make this city more alive for them. Like, for example, there's an incident with the shopkeeper's daughter. She basically tries to flirt with one of the player characters, and if one of them falls for it, she'll take them back home to the basement, and the father walks in on them, and yeah, so if one of the player characters falls for this, he'll have an argument with the father, and he'll have to explain why, and so on and so on. So yeah, and these small events, you can put them in anywhere during the first few days of the adventure. And there's also a boar hunt, in which your player characters will go on a hunt with one of the noble citizens that they've rescued during the attack. And this boar hunt is, you can make it as big as you want, but it's basically to set the scene or set the tone for this citizen later on, this noble citizen later on. So it's basically just an introduction. I've played it out though, having it become a big part of one of the first days in the town, because I thought it was fun, and it was fun for the players to actually go on a boar hunt, on a wild boar hunt. And also Trouble at the Rusty Dragon. The players they witness a family feud at the Rusty Dragon, and with the owner of the Rusty Dragon, she has some issues with her dad, or it's the other way around. It's actually her father who has some issues with her, and he's like the richest man in town, and she's like the adventurer daughter that he can't quite get to terms with. So he basically comes to the bar, yells at her, and that sets the tone for some other things that are going to happen in the adventure. There's like there's also a small part called Monster in the Closet, and what happens there is during this goblin attack, one of the goblins flee and escapes to one of the houses and hides in the closet, and he basically spends the next couple of days there in the closet, hiding beneath a floorboard, just living off spiders and whatnot, and basically he goes crazy, and he can't get out because during the day people are awake, and during the night there's a dog just outside the closet, and every time he tries to get out, the dog barks, and so on and so on. But basically what happens is that this goblin goes mad, starts attacking during the middle of the night, and this woman with her 2 children come running for the PCs. And you'll want to have your player characters walking around the town at some point, and this woman comes running to them and saying, and her son is bloody, and her son is bleeding from the arm. And what happens is she tells them that this goblin has been attacking, or has attacked her son, and now it's attacking her husband, and he's at home, and she wants the players to the heroes, the new Sandpoint heroes, to come to her home and help with the goblin, and it's obviously happening right now. So yeah, of course, player characters should come running to the aid. And so these are just small encounters that happens during while your players are trying to unravel this mystery. And at some point, they'll get to meet a mercenary / bounty hunter / survivalist, which is she is how should I say it? She's an unofficial member of the city guard, and she's basically spending her time around in the region, not staying in one place at a time, not staying at one place, and basically coming into town every now and then. And a few days after the attack on the town, she arrives, and she's been in a few fights. She starts telling about these goblins and how it's weird that on this attack, apparently the player characters should have found out, or she tells them. It's up to you really. That it seems that 5 different goblin clans or goblin tribes were participating in this raid, and that's really not normal, because goblins it's not easy for goblins to get along, and especially not if they're from different tribes. So setting something up like a combined attack on a town, including different goblin tribes, there must be some mastermind behind it, and that's basically what she tells them. Or yeah, so that gives the player characters some more information, some more pointers on where they should continue their search for, or yeah, their query. Anyways, what happens next? Oh yeah, this the family feud I was talking about. It's with the owner of this Rusty Dragon. It's a tavern, and she goes missing at some point, and you find a letter, or when you start to look into this incident when she goes missing, you'll end up looking into the glassworks. And as I said before, her father was the richest man in town. He was the richest man in town because he has the best business. So he was the owner of the glassworks, or is or was. Anyways, this investigation of the missing tavern bartender leads to you going to the glassworks, and what happens there at the glassworks, well, just to give you a small piece of information. Well, basically you'll see some gruesome things that happens when goblins are bored. So yeah, so that was the end of my first part of my in-depth review of Burnt Offerings, first chapter in the Rise of the Runelords campaign by Paizo. And obviously there's a lot more to it. I've just been going through some of the start, and since I commented on the artwork and so on, I didn't go into too much detail, and I didn't even do half of the adventure. So in my next part I'll do the rest for you. Let me just see. Well, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I'll see if I can answer them. As I said, this is my first review ever, a video review, and so bear with me. I'm new to this, but hopefully I should be able to give you some more information, and I plan to do a few videos explaining the group I'm running the adventure with. I'll try to give you a recap of what's happening when I take my players through this. Also, if you want to play this adventure, you should look into buying the map folio. Has some nice maps, some nice big detailed maps. Well, actually it's not that many big and detailed, there are many small, but there's one big one of the town which is nice to have your players look at. Let me see, oh, it's upside down, there you go. It's nice to leave it on the table so your players can locate themselves, and you can point to the different areas of the town. Anyways, this map folio contains many small maps. I would have liked this if the maps were a bit more. They're quite thin, and I would have loved it to be just a bit bigger. I'm thinking about wrapping them up in plastic, but yeah, more on that later. Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye for now.